I think like the biggest thing for me that attracted me to MyCORE, to you, was the vision of more, right? And not just more money, but it was like more impact. And I always tell people in my career, I've always told people, like, my job is simple. It is to put you in the best possible position to be successful. I told that to all my salespeople. It's funny. I have people that have worked for me like years ago, and they're like, dude, I constantly think about that, because like, that's literally how I see it. Cool. And like when we got acquired, I felt like that I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to put people in the best possible position. When we started Beam, like Alex and I, dude, it was just like, I've told you this, it's like we paid rents, you know, like for people that needed it, and, you know, and so from that perspective.
So you got hamstrung. It's funny you brought that up, because I was thinking about that this morning, because I got to deal with you now. Right? Like
yeah, dude.
Fucking Ned.
Here I am, bro.
Yeah. So, and everyone's stoked, like, for obvious reasons, right? There's just always going to be the nice conversation that we have, and then like the real conversation, which is like, so what's the deal, you know? Like, and it's like, I'm sort of like, I promise I didn't I didn't say anything weird and promise anything weird, you know?
We did drink blood. That was like the only weird thing we did.
Yeah, like, whatever. The Native Americans did.
It's healthy, dude. Liver King, dude.
It's got, you know, antioxidants. So I think the way I was able to answer that was, and this is kind of a question more, like, I said, you know, Ned has gotten a taste, like a real dose of what real money, lifestyle money looks like, feels like, you know. And it's not to say that it's like empty. Like when you just asked me, hey, do you and Jen want to go to TPC for a like smaller venue concert on a Tuesday afternoon? I was like, yeah, you know, like obviously. Like how much, like the thing about my check-ins and my savings.
You should be working at that time.
Yeah, like I'll have my people talk to your people. So
my people's just Jamie.
My people's 5 kids. So I sort of say that to say that, like, this is what I wonder. So you built a company to $11 million in revenue in 18 months.
Yeah.
So you know how to and what it looks like to build it up. The part that I think MyCORE has that is really unique is this like insanely deeply connected culture. And it's sort of like, imagine the best of both worlds. Like imagine where you don't have to compromise the revenue, the lifestyle, the like money, but that's an actual second to the mission, to the people, to the values. Is that what you're sensing about MyCORE?
Yeah, I think I kind of caught it the first time we talked. Okay. Right. And the first time we, you know, engaged, because it's funny. You said like the money isn't emptiness. Like when you get to the top, I think it's funny because I think it is because when you don't have...
I don't know. I've never had that much of it. I can tell you. So you tell me.
Dude, I got you. It's empty.
Okay. I was hoping.
Yeah. It's like when it's not tied to a mission, when it's not like tied to, hey, you know, I went and did this because, like, even for me, I was telling myself throughout the years of, you know, Silicon Valley and startup world, and then going into home services and building that company and getting bought by private equity and, you know, being a part of this massive conglomerate that we became. I was telling myself I was doing it for my family, but nah, dude, you know, it wasn't. It was 100% like a selfish thing. And, you know, when you get to that mountaintop and you go, dude, I did all of this. I'm 32 years old. It just became like, oh crap. Like I don't have everything I wanted. I thought that the dollar amount was going to fulfill me. And so I think with like a MyCORE, it is the fact that like, man, this is about impact. It's about putting people in the best possible position to be successful in their individual lives, giving them a platform, but also putting a great product out into the market
Yeah.
that allows these small businesses. And I was a small business owner and I didn't want to be a small business owner. So I built a big business.
Right.
And it's like allowing them to really.
Which, by the way, every small business owner wants to do that.
100%.
Maybe artisans, maybe not, if they're kind of like farmers marketing it up. But every business owner that is a small business wants to grow and transcend out of the struggle that is the business owning them.
Yeah.
And I
think the two offers that MyCORE has, what people ops and growth and marketing, are the two things that businesses struggle with most. Like, because most small business owners are tacticians that go into business. They're not necessarily like the reason that Alex and I were so successful with Beam, not only the people that we surrounded ourselves with, but the reason we were so successful is we weren't tacticians, dude. I didn't even know that you had an inside HVAC unit, dude. I thought it was just on the side of the house. And then we're going into homes and they're like, you want to see my inside unit? I'm like, you're what? I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess. Like, whatever. And so, but most small business owners aren't guys that have built multi-million-dollar businesses and are going like, hey, this is a really like unsexy industry. Let's go do it. It's
they're owner operators.
Yeah.
And so, really they're operator owners.
Really. Yeah. Right. And so it's like the two offers, it's like, wow, like we can go into an HVAC company. We can go into a roofer. We can go into a Main Street business and put true business operations in there, from people ops to marketing. And like, I truly think like when you look at both of those together, if you can hire and retain top talent and you can make sure that the door is always swinging open and the phones are always ringing, like you are going to build a big business, like period. Like when I talked to our investors, they were like, the reason that we invested in you is because you had systems in place. We knew that your best people weren't leaving because our hiring, our onboarding, our retention of great people was 10 out of 10. And we had literally a revenue engine that we knew that when a lead came in, we had trained our reps well enough that we weren't getting tire kickers because we weren't allowing tire kickers. And we even refined it to the level that, hey, the people that were coming in and talking to our sales reps weren't tire kickers because we had those systems in place. And I think like when you can sit there and say, hey, we are offering you this opportunity to literally run, we are giving you 100-person like department with these two offerings at the price of less than one employee, bro. It's a no-brainer. A month, dude. It's
because we're talking $497 a month times a year. That's $6,000. You can't get a good employee for $6,000 a month. This is $6,000 a year.
Yeah, and so it's like that's I think on top of the vision. It's like when you go, I look at vision and I'm like, cool. There's your strategy. Right? The tactical execution is in the product because the true value of a product is in speed to value. How quickly can I go from a business owner who doesn't have this thing to success with the thing that is coming in, and how quickly can you get there? And I think with MyCORE, that was one of the things with like profit share and market share that I looked at and was like, oh, shit, like we can get speed to value up and running quickly and also change the lives of the people that are involved with MyCORE and the lives of the business owners.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Mic drop. Yeah. Boom. And you know what I think is neat too, and I'm just like processing this in my interactions with you. Because, I'm just doing the thing I do, like this is me. This has been my approach. This has been my thesis. And it's been obviously encouraging and validating, like empowering to have you sort of have this reckoning with it where you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like I got to deal with this now. Well, that mission, that cause, that impact, everyone wants to talk about it because it feels good to talk about it. Yeah. There is an actual process. There's a science to it as much as there is an art to it. And if I had to sum it up, it's time. And most people won't let the time pass.
Or they can't because they've got venture money or they've got, people that are saying, hey, you got, double, double, triple, triple, or triple, triple, double, double. Like that's like what they're doing.
And I one, it's been all these years. So you don't have to relive that. You know what I mean? And two, I just had some sort of, I don't know, man, sixth sense, horse sense, gut feeling. I think the Holy Spirit that was just like, Nathan, just hold,
Yeah.
hold. It's like that Braveheart scene when the horses are coming at them and they've got the spears sharpened and it's just this little ragtag army, right? And he's like, hold.
Yeah.
And they're all like, dude, this is about to crush us. He's like, hold. And that's like what I've been doing practically, like painted face. Like you could take the colors on the shield, put it on my face, and I'm like, freedom, hold. And we're at a moment right now where like it's game over, dude. We're going to be able to say, because it's been a 9-year journey, which is quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
This year it's going down. We're going to say, I have this like headline in my mind, and it's MyCORE 10-year overnight success.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But that's what it takes, right?
Like
every overnight success, quote unquote, is always 10 years, right? Like it's like if you ask my friends back home, like, oh dude, Ned made it big, right? It's like, dude, it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to make it big. Like, I was in right places, right time, met some amazing people, but man, it took a lot of effort and money and time and relational stress and all of that goes into building sacrifice.
And there's some things that people don't realize, that sacrifice is the word, because when something is sacrificed, it is dead.
Yeah.
And there's no reviving it. So that can be relationships. That can be, it certainly can be, a part of you that you go, well, I used to do this thing, but then I sacrificed doing that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I even went through a season, I don't know how I got to this. I regret it, but sometimes I think like, must have just had to be, I didn't have any more margin, but I didn't work out for years in those early days. And I regret that, because I think it would have made a difference, but I just didn't have it in me to go work out. I mean, I would run and like do some push-ups, but it just took that much out of me. And I think sometimes people sacrifice their mind, their body.
For sure.
You're sacrificing. I'm convinced my hair wouldn't be as gray as it is. I wouldn't have the wrinkles. I would look truly 36 and not 46. But yeah, man, I think it's really cool and humbling that you are bringing your best and choosing MyCORE for your like next play. I mean, is that too strong of a statement? Because I feel like you're all in.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a really perfect statement. Bringing my best for my next. Kind of rhymes. But I think like that is truly kind of where I'm looking at is, when Jamie and I sat down and I was like, hey, like what's next? It was, I just need to be tied to a mission that I can get behind. And, that's either I'm going to go start a church, which I am not qualified to do by any stretch of the imagination. And my language definitely disqualifies me.
Cursing Christians.
Something like that. Right. But it was just like, man. And I told you a story. It's like, I was praying in my morning time with the Lord and I was feeling like, dude, what's going on, bro?
Right.
And I just felt the Lord speak to my spirit and say, hey, I'm going to put someone in your life that you're going to meet and you're going to know that you need to do business with immediately. It's going to be clear. It's going to be abundantly clear. And I held on to that. And it's funny, we met and I told you this is like, I called Jamie afterwards. I was like, bro, this guy's dope. And she was like, hey, Ned, remember? And I'm like, oh. And that's why we have wives, for sure. But it's definitely, it's been a really cool journey, a very quick journey, a very God journey here. But I think what I'm most excited about is the success of the people that have been with you on this journey. And now it's time to like step the game, not up, but just go and move and go to market. And then the people that are going to step onto the train, I think that's what excites me most is like, dude, I posted in the Slack the other day is like time to change some life trajectories.
Yeah,
and I think that's really the thing that makes me most excited about what you're doing and what you've done is you've built a model that allows people to step into this business and go, man, I can change the trajectory of my last name.
That's
Like,
good, dude.
that's big.
That's big.
Like, there are people that are watching this or listening to this, or maybe it's just you and I every single morning listening to this and no one else hears this, but that are like, affirmations. Yeah, I am great. But that are going, man, I can't be anyone in my hometown because my last name means something, or I can't be anything because mistakes have been made. And it's like, you've allowed for an opening for people that are, you know, how many people are getting let go right now from these massive tech companies that are looking for their next gig? They've got the resume that says, I should be ready for this job. I should be the person they call, and they never get the call. They get the automatic, sorry, we've gone another direction.
I know.
Right? It's like, how many of those people are sitting here going, what the fuck is next?
Right.
Like, dude, how did I not get a phone call from that HR department? And it's like, they can step into
They're
this.
highly qualified to be totally useless.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And it's like, but the thing is that starts to seep in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. And now they feel like they don't have value to the marketplace.
Oh, man.
And it's like, man, you have created a place that people who may be in that position going, where is my value, that can step into a community, get fed, and go and create a change for their life and say, dude, forget corporate America, right? Forget this like dream of like going to Silicon Valley and selling off a company and all of these things. Dude, I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, man, there's such a group of individuals that need to be like introduced to MyCORE. And there are so many companies that just, I mean, I'm looking out the window now. There's probably 50 companies within eyeshot of this window that could use exactly what we
It's like, literally, we say MyCORE is made for Main Street. You can walk the street and like hit multiple businesses. We got to jump on this meeting right now, but I am pumped the way you said that. It's the whole co-create, right? I think people are looking for an opportunity to co-create with, not work for.
Yeah.
And I think because we've opened up MyCORE in this co-create with MyCORE way, I mean, people are coming out of the woodwork saying like, I'm in, dude. You know, I'm in. And I'm just pumped to have you on the executive team as our chief strategy officer. It's like, oh, y'all ready? Like, everyone's laced up and ready to roll because they feel the Ned energy coming in. So we're going to crush it, dude. I'm pumped, man. Welcome to MyCORE.